Hello gamers, welcome to a DSP video. Since DSP Reacts has been around for a few months, I figure now is the time to really get into my general thoughts of DSP Reacts. Since it was announced, DSP said he was going to have 3 shows. DSP versus the Internet, the long-form React event that he's going to do every month, and DSP Asks It. Now, out of the 3, everyone but DSP fans already knew DSP Asks It was dead in the water before it even had a chance to be born. Because when DSP has to involve another person in his own content, it's never going to pan out because he has to organize when they're available, when he's available, what day, what time, what questions, all that kind of stuff. Now, I do think it's an issue that he struggles talking to other people and getting and coordinating with them. But I don't think it's that hard for him because he could find someone to come onto his show. There has been people who are interested in talking with him that he could just kind of get them to come on, etc. But I think the bigger issue of it is DSP would have to come up with questions and topics for his guest. And if you watch his podcast, you already know that's not going to pan out very well because DSP is not interested in anything. You go to his podcast, you listen to his gaming news segment, and what does he talk about? Articles that are already that he just summarizes off of Twitter. And it doesn't seem that interesting. It's just, this Twitter account said that this game got delayed, man. Wow, that sucks. All right, next news story. And it's just, there's nothing there that of interest. There's nothing going on that he's genuinely interested in. Someone else has to talk about it for him to be interested in it. There's not something that he goes out of his way to see, hey, is there something going on? He doesn't know where to find gaming news. He doesn't know anything. And he wants to do an interview series, which is laughable. Because you listen to how he talks about other content creators, and it's either shitting on them or saying, oh, they're a victim of this drama that's going on. Isn't that sad? And it's just that's the only thing he's interested in. Evo happens, or any other fighting game tournament happens, and DSP says nothing about it. And then when he does talk about it, it says shit on it. So what is DSP realistically interested in that he could ask someone about? Oh, how is it to make meaningful content? How do you handle YouTube? Like, what's he gonna ask? Like, it requires a lot of legwork that we all know he's not gonna do because he's not an interesting person. Even if you look at the times that he has Kat on his streams back in 2018, he didn't really seem that interested in her. When he revealed her, he just kind of talked about the trolls and just saying how she's there. The IRL streams was just him sitting there reading chat and making sarcastic jokes to Kat. Like, he didn't really have any chemistry there. The Halloween event, you forget Kat was even there. The only reason why you remember Kat was there was because people were trolling her. That's the only thing, because DSP barely talked to her. So, what's he gonna do if he has some random guy on his stream? Like, it just didn't add up, and when he was describing what he wanted to do with this interview series, it was very clear that this dude had no idea what he wanted to do with this interview series. That it seemed very early on to even talk about it. He didn't know if he was going to record it, stream it. He didn't know if he was going to announce the guests ahead of time or what. But he also wanted his viewers to come up with questions. And this is the main issue I've had with DSP's content in general, is that this dude relies heavily on his viewers. His viewers have to tell him what game to stream, what to stream, what to watch, all this stuff. And it's like, there's really nothing you want to do. And then he tells you when it's a game he doesn't want to play, oh, I'm not interested in it. But this dude will tell you he doesn't know what to play. So it's wild that he even came up with the idea of an interview series when he doesn't know what to do with anything. Like, what's he gonna realistically ask? What kind of guests would he have on? Like, what's he gonna do with this video series? It just didn't really add up. Nothing was really there. And then the Side Scrollers interview happened. And after that, he went on to say, well, if I do an interview, it's going to be on my channel. I'm very curious to talk to Rich. I'm very curious to talk to Wings. The next day, oh, I don't want to talk to them. Fuck them. Oh, I'm not doing the interview series anymore. He canceled it pretty passively, and no one really called him out for that. Because I guess They're just hoping on the random day that he's just gonna do it. He's never gonna do it. It was never gonna happen. So the interview series was just garbage from the get go, and it's the perfect example of DSP's issues as a content creator. That this dude has no backbone in anything, and he lacks vision, and you see that with everything he puts out. He has no vision for anything. Look at DSP versus the internet. Let's just talk about this as well. When it started, the idea is a very basic idea that, oh, your viewers are going to submit content for you to watch, and you're going to see and you're going to react to it every week. Very basic format, but there's no restrictions or criteria that is very reasonable. He instituted, oh, members can only submit 3, then that became 2, and then he also added, the videos you submit have to be stuff that I'm interested in, which is a very vague criteria, because how do you know what video you're gonna like or dislike? Like, how does that make any sense? And isn't the point of DSP versus the internet is to see you react to anything? Like, what is really the point there? But he doesn't institute a runtime restriction. Like, you should have just said, hey, if you're gonna submit videos, it has to be 5 minutes long max or whatever. Like between 1 minute and 5 minutes, something like that, because he's been getting videos that are like 30 minutes and over, and he watches like a minute then just leaves the video, which isn't a very good way to judge a video, because a video that's an hour long usually takes time to build up to the point that they're making, or they have many points and they might have corrected by the end of the video, but you'll never know because DSP just skips the video, so it doesn't really make sense. And I kind of feel that since DSP versus the internet has this very like abstract kind of design baked in, that it makes it confusing for the viewer or the member to submit videos, because I feel that a lot of the videos that get submitted are being submitted with the idea or the notion that he's gonna, like, he might watch it on the marathon or the event, but he might return to that video on his own time and watch the whole video, which he will not do. He will not do that. So a lot of people, I feel, just submit these videos are like 30 minutes long, thinking he'll watch 1 minute of it and say, okay, I don't have time to watch the rest, and then watch it like off stream someday, which isn't gonna happen unless it's like a channel that makes like 2-minute videos or something. But he's never gonna go back to watching a 30-minute video at any point in time in his life. So I do think that's like one of the incentives that people have in submitting the videos, is with that notion in mind, which is never the case. The videos that get submitted that he watches and likes are all boring videos. They're food videos, which is like, I mean, I guess it's subjective to a point that some people might be interested in watching that, but but I think the issue is not only the videos are just boring, from person to person, it's just how he reacts to it, because he's sitting there like, oh, they're eating French fries. Wow, huh? Oh, wow, they packed that many French fries. Wow, man. Wow, like usually they put it in a little box, and that's the react. Like, sure, that's a reaction, but it's just nothing interesting. Like, he finds these videos, he watches them, and they're just kind of lame takes. Like, he doesn't add anything interesting or funny to it. It's just him laughing and saying, "Whoa, dude, ack." And there's really nothing more to it. And I think that's the issue with DSP versus the internet. When it started, I was like, oh man, maybe this would be the one thing I kind of want to watch, to see how if he watches a channel I like, let's say he watches Mega 64 and says some dumb shit, that might be funny. But after that, more and more, I've been kind of making myself busy on Saturdays when he does these DSP versus the internet, and I never feel like I miss anything. Like, I literally have not been watching them because I either go to the movies Saturday or I just do something else, and then I just go to a Twitter account called Gamerface, and that just posts like pretty much a summary of how much money he made, and I can see like, oh, did he make like a hack log? I can see how successful or not successful those streams are, and then I just kind of read through like little summaries of his reactions, and it's just nothing of interest. Like, you can miss an entire month of DSP versus the internet and you won't really miss anything because his channel is boring. And it's the same kind of issue I have with Ask the King recently, is that it's really stale as to what he does on that channel. The only thing that I find interesting now is either a game that might be, that might get a funny reaction from him because, a game can be very unpredictable to some degree, where you might struggle more in some segments, etc. And then you have the review series that he's been doing on DSP Reacts, which to me is only enjoyable in the sense that this dude has such a bad has such poor media literacy. It's insane to listen to him review a movie because he either forgets plot points or he doesn't understand a scene or how a scene is set up or anything. Like it's kind of phenomenal that this dude brags about being a movie buff and all this stuff, but he doesn't get things. He doesn't understand anything about the movies he's watching. It's just funny to me. Like if this dude didn't brag as much about him being a movie buff, then I could let it slide reasonably. But this dude brags about it all the time, and then when you listen to him talk about movies or shows, he sounds like an idiot. He sounds like he didn't even watch it, or he comes in with a painted opinion that he just goes in wanting that opinion. So that's the only saving grace with DSP Reacts, is that the review series shows how bad he is at in digesting media and reading basic scene synopsis or anything in a movie. Like he just doesn't get it, which is just funny to me. The long form react event is, you've seen this 1,000 times already, so it's really nothing interesting and it's just boring videos. Like, that is the biggest issue with DSP Reacts, is that you've already seen the content that's on that channel and it hasn't even happened yet. Like, he's gonna do a react event with Internet Historian. You already know how that's gonna pan out. And it's just lazy content. And the other thing I've been noticing is that on his gaming channel, he takes a 15-minute break after every hour or whatever of gameplay. DSP Reacts, he doesn't do that at all. He sits there, the most you get is that he gets up and walks around the room a little bit and pets his cat. And that's it. And then he goes back and watches more videos. So he has us believe on DSP Gaming that he needs that break, man. He can't be sitting there for 3 hours. He's gonna get blood clots and die. But on DSP Reacts, he's able to sit down for 3 hours. So he can't game for 3 hours, but he can sit in the same chair and watch videos for 3 hours. Figure that one out. And the other thing that is just a little frustrating is he uses his Xbox to watch YouTube apps. Well, he uses the YouTube app on Xbox, but he uses that to watch videos. And it's the most cumbersome and unintuitive way to do a react event. It's kind of comedic at this point because he either skips a video, he goes too far in a video, he loses his place in a video. And it's like, man, if you just use your computer, it would be way better. But the reason he doesn't want to do that is twofold. He's afraid he's going to show his desktop again, which during the tier maker stream is very clear he could easily hide it. Secondly, he probably doesn't have a clear way to have he can't have that same setup with little gamer pictures there. But if this dude was creative and thoughtful, he could find a way to make the PC angle work for him. But he can't, because this dude is so uncreative and he's not very bright on anything. He convinces himself that he can't do anything, so why bother? So DSP Reacts is a channel that is going to get diminished returns over the course of months. And I've been kind of surprised, even within the month of its launch, it already kind of sees a decline. The announcement of it, the first few streams of it, it had a decent turnout, it got decent support. But since then, it's just been kind of struggling. The members have only been increasing because of gifted members. And members can always increase anyway, so it's whatever. But the super chats have just been kind of floundering, tips or whatever. So DSP Reacts at the end of the day is a very bland channel that will not make you think much about it. The other thing that is worth noting is that this dude talks about how he can't make that the channel makes nothing because of content ID, which is kind of bullshit because he has other videos on that channel that's not that at all, like reviews. The DSP reviews and Ask the King are videos that have no content ID at all, and yet somehow he has us believe that the channel makes nothing in ad revenue. And it's also worth noting, in case people forgot, DSP Reacts was his old vlogging channel. So there's a ton of videos that get legacy views off of ad revenue. So I didn't even realize that before I made this video, by the way. And now I'm realizing how much of a lie it is for him to sit there and have you believe he makes nothing on ad revenue. It is the biggest lie that he has said to you in your face, because he doesn't want you to realize that it was a vlogging channel, because this dude wants to ignore that part of it because of the title of it. But he could just say, yeah, this is my, he says a few times, yeah, this is my vlogging channel, but he doesn't realize that his vlogging channel has all these old videos there that people can still watch to this day. Is he gonna start deleting all those videos? No way! He's not gonna delete all those videos because that's free ad revenue. So how is he making no ad revenue when he has the review series, Ask the King, and the old vlogging channel, and the old vlogging channel videos? He has tons of ways to make ad revenue, and he has you believe that he can't? And even then he has super thanks, he has all these other ways to make money on that channel. It is unbelievable the amount of bullshit he's pushing on his viewers with that channel, that's just lying and hiding the fact that that channel has other videos on it that make ad revenue. So DSP Reacts, at the end of the day, is a bullshit channel that allows him to lie to you and double and quadruple dip on his own viewer base. And now that he's teasing the idea of renaming KO Gaming as a DSP archive channel is more insane. Because this dude is just full of nonsense with his ad revenue nonsense. He claims that he can't make ad revenue on KO Gaming because YouTube blacklisted the channel, yet he was able to make videos on that channel anyway. Like, nothing really adds up in the grand scheme of things when you really take the time to think about it. And it's bullshit. So DSP Reacts is a garbage channel that's just gonna end up being a dead channel that he's gonna force to be successful, because at some point he's gonna want to minimize gaming and do more React stuff, which is just garbage. The other thing that makes DSP Reacts a garbage channel is the fucking thumbnails. This dude made it made a statement about how React channels have these goofy faces and thumbnails and all this stuff. You go to DSP Reacts and it's all god awful thumbnails. Like, I can't even give him any credit for these thumbnails because it has assaulting color schemes that are just sharp on the eyes. It has his face plastered on them that have the most unfortunate face I've seen. Like, it's kind of unfair to say that, well, his face looks dumb. His face looks dumb, period. So it's not really flattering to see his face on a thumbnail, which is kind of sad, because if you think about it, shouldn't a YouTuber be able to put his face on a thumbnail that shows his face every day on content? Like, it's kind of wild to think about that. But you have his shit-eating grin face for DSP Reacts, then you have the disgust soy face for the long-form Reacts, and I just don't quite get why he thinks these are flattering faces. Like, he shits on the people who do that, but at least that is nowhere near as off-putting and disgusting as his long form React disgust face that he looks like that he just stepped in shit. Like, come on. So DSP Reacts is just a channel full of garbage that he's gonna force on his viewers, and his viewers are just gonna enjoy it because they somehow like his content. Like, even his videos have all just been Slayer submissions and miscellaneous stuff, and when he sees a miscellaneous submission, it's just, what is this? And the other thing that he kind of misses out on is he could be linking the videos he's reacting to in his description. He doesn't even do that. So he could watch a video that's interesting and you won't know where to find it. You have to look at the title in the video he's watching, and then look for it yourself, because he will not link the videos he chose for that stream in the description at all, which he should do because it gives the viewer an opportunity to check out the video to see if they want to see it themselves. Because if he skips it, what if you want to watch it? And then some parts get edited out because of content ID. So it's kind of bullshit that he won't even link the videos that he's reacting to. So you'll never really know what the video it is he's reacting to unless you really pay attention on the stream that he's watching. So it just doesn't really work out for him. But as I said about his DSP gaming channel, it still has that same issue where there's nothing interesting on that channel. Nothing that has any thought or ambition or vision. There's no vision for DSP Reacts except for doing the stuff that other people do. And it's just not interesting. He thinks it's interesting because he has a show named DSP versus the Internet. And that's like the most bare bones title you could come up with, and there's really nothing there because there's no point. And then he forces a Q&A segment, which is another issue of his, that he forces Q&A segments everywhere. And it just kind of cannibalizes everything. This dude sets up all this stuff that all eats upon each other. DSP Reacts would have worked as a better idea for DSP Gaming and not its own channel. He could have had those perks for DSP Reacts for DSP Gaming, and he would have given DSP Gaming more incentive to become a member. But since he has this dumb idea of separating content and separating channels, that he kind of robs the opportunity to make DSP Gaming more profitable, because he thinks that these other YouTubers have these other YouTube channels and they make money on those, but those YouTubers don't necessarily monetize all the channels the same way. Like if you go to Critical's clip channel, does that have a join button? Can you become a member? I don't think so. Mega 64 is an archive channel. You can't become a member on that channel. You can't become a member on their YouTube channel either. But you could sub to their Twitch channel. But they don't. But not a lot of YouTubers have multiple memberships on multiple channels, as far as I know. And if they did, they probably offer better perks anyway. So it doesn't benefit DSP specifically to separate his channels and have his viewers go between two channels and become a member. It's gonna either diminish the importance of DSP Gaming, or it's gonna diminish DSP Reacts' success. Which is probably why DSP decided to not do member goals on DSP Gaming, which isn't really great because his events suck anyway, and it's never gonna pan out. The other thing that I think is, if anything, DSP Reacts has taken more importance out of DSP Gaming inadvertently. So at the end of the day, when you look at DSP Reacts and just DSP in general, yet again, he is a terrible content creator that has gotten worse over the years. When you are more creative when you start out than you are now, that's kind of bad. Because this dude's content would be kind of interesting if he was just starting out. And he isn't. He has been in this game for like 15 years, and his content seems amateurish. Because he's making dumb mistakes in his content. His content is based off of someone else's content, and there's really nothing of interest. There's nothing that separates it from anyone else. If you go to any other channel that does anything like DSP Reacts does, you're gonna find better content. Like, he doesn't do anything interesting with DSP versus the Internet. There's something he could have done, like, if there's a video in this video series that makes me confused, or maybe I just crack out laughing or something, that's gonna be the video of the day of the stream, and I'm gonna feature it, and the person who submits it is gonna get like $5 or something. Like, there's nothing there that makes it interesting for the viewer, other than seeing him react, and his reactions are lukewarm takes. That's just him sitting there and just describing the video to you, or just being confused about the video he's even watching. Like, it's wild to me that people still tune in to DSP versus the Internet, and I wouldn't even be surprised if it just becomes more of an inclusive video series that's only successful because of the whales. And it doesn't grow anymore. Like DSP versus the internet is probably going to plateau faster than anything else, which it already has. Like even if you look at KO Gaming when he did the that million view video about Homefront: The Revolution, that at least like it started a peak with KO Gaming, and it got DSP to do more and more reviews that are more interesting and a little bit better. But then that started to plateau, and then it just kind of stopped. But that took a few months to get there. Like it took a few videos, then it started to plateau. DSP React started to do that plateau like the second week of that channel being in operation. So it really doesn't bode well when you have a channel that just started out and it already plateaued and is not even a year old. So what does that really mean for the long-term success of that channel? Is he going to do more videos? Is he going to do anything else? The review series is already pretty bad for what it is, and the review series, not only is it bad movie takes or show takes that are just funny to watch, but he doesn't want to watch anything on his own. He sits there on stream and tells you, so I don't know what movie to watch. Can you guys tell me what movie to watch? Should I watch this movie? What movie should I watch? And it's so counterproductive because what makes reviews interesting to watch is that someone can watch a movie that you wouldn't think about watching, and they can review it and give it a good review that would make you want to watch it. But if you're telling the person to review a movie, why would you watch the movie you told them to review? It makes no sense. Like, it's kind of infuriating how he handles it because HBO, for example, has all these shows he could watch. Succession, Barry, Perry Mason. It has all these shows that are interesting that he could watch. He doesn't watch anything, and he waits for his viewers to watch. And if his viewers suggest Succession, he's probably gonna say, "Well, it's on their 4th season, so why would I watch it, man? And it's their last season. There's no point." And that's not why you review things. Like, if I review something, it's because I want to talk about it. This dude has no backbone for anything. It's infuriating the more I think about the review series because it's dead. The dude is a corpse because he has no interest in anything. He watches animal videos with Cat. He watches other YouTubers with Cat. Why not do a review series on other YouTubers? No, because then they'll be spreading to toxicity and drama. But he will inadvertently, in a roundabout way, shit on other YouTubers without naming them. This dude's React channel is garbage. His review channel is hilariously bad because there's nothing interesting. Unless you want to see him review a movie with shitty takes. And all the reviews are going to become are just keep shit movies. And mainstream movies. So there's really nothing interesting. It's wild to me that you could find a better reviewer on YouTube that reviews far better movies and far more interesting movies than DSP. Like, it blows my mind that this dude wants to do a review video and he doesn't want to review anything. You have to tell him what to review. Why? What kind of benefit is there in that? Because I watched the movie. Wow, this movie's good. I want to see DSP review it. Why the fuck, if I like the movie, why would I want to watch, or why would I tell someone to watch it and then review it so I can watch the review? Like, it's just kind of wild to me that this dude doesn't follow the basic principle of creating content of you need to create something that the viewer doesn't know they want. Hey, I watched something that I ended up liking and I didn't expect it. I've watched so many movies, so many shows that I didn't go in thinking I was gonna like it to end up loving it. But DSP has no interest in anything. He's like, should I watch Shazam? Should I watch Peacemaker? People are saying I should watch Suicide Squad. Maybe I should watch that. And then it's like, yeah, the movie sucks, man. It's stupid. Why not watch something you want to watch and review it? Have some interest in what you watched, man. And then he has the gall to say, well, someone donated The Whale, and I watched this movie because they donated it. Okay, good for you. But he has all these subscription services, and he watches nothing on them. He has Hulu, doesn't watch Fargo, a great show, by the way, doesn't watch it, doesn't want to review it, doesn't want to touch it. Has HBO, doesn't watch any of the shows HBO has to offer, but wants to watch Harry Potter, Peacemaker, Suicide Squad, Justice League, all these movies that are so basic and bare bones mainstream slop that he reviews. But oh, am I gonna watch Let's Talk with Joe Pera? No. I don't know what that is. Oh, Succession? No, that's 4 seasons in. I don't want to watch season 1. Oh, this show? I don't want to watch that. Who wants to talk about that? But the whole point of a review is to talk about movies you watch. It doesn't have to be this mainstream thing because this dude wants to write algorithms. This dude wants to write fucking algorithms. And the algorithms is not a rewarding thing to ride. That's why people just do whatever they fucking want and it's successful it is. Whatever. But this dude has no interest in anything. Everything he does, you have to tell him to watch it. So it's more infuriating the more you really go down the rabbit hole of DSP Reacts that you realize that this dude is uninteresting as fuck. And it's hilarious how bad this dude is at running his own fucking business. So that is what I think about DSP Reacts. That channel is probably going to be dead within a year, and no one's going to care. The reviews are hilariously bad, and they're all pathetic. Everything about this channel is pathetic, and it just oozes him just riding popularity and algorithms. So honestly, if you are debating, should I stay tuned for DSP Reacts? You could just miss it and not miss a thing. The reviews are the only thing that's worth watching, and it's not for the right reasons either. So it's a losing battle for DSP Reacts at this point, and if you want to watch something that's more quality, find someone else. DSP Reacts is not the channel if you want genuine good content. You're not getting it with that. That channel is just gonna be a shell of its former self, and it's just gonna be DSP doing the bare minimum of making that channel successful and get rewarded by whales. So there you go. Thank you for watching this wild video. I know the tail end of it was a little bit all over the place, but it is what it is, man. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.